Hello, everyone. Ladislas Maurice of the Wandering Investor. So today we'll be discussing the Sierra Leone Citizenship by Investment Program together with Stephen, who is the program designer and advisor to the Sierra Leonean Immigration Authority. Stephen, how are you?
I'm great, Ladislas. It's great to have this conversation with you. We've been seeking to arrange it for quite some time already.
Indeed, and we are having this call because the first applicants recently received their passports, correct?
Correct, yes. I've just returned from Freetown with a delegation of 13 of us to complete that mission and obviously sort of meet with a whole array of other government ministers and introduce some of our delegation as investors and potential client, well, in fact, future citizens that are ready to commence now that they've had a chance to see that, this thing is absolutely for real.
Exciting. And where are the first new citizens originally from?
From the United States, from a single family office, and he was he's a passport collector. However, he's principally a frontier economy investor. And he told me when the program first launched that he'd been waiting for something like this to come along for quite some time. So yeah, it was a no-brainer for him. He completed his due diligence relatively quickly and said, let's do it. So what, 13, 14 weeks later, he's in the presence of His Excellency the Vice President receiving his passport. So great stuff, really.
Yeah, exciting. So, Stephen, look, it's pretty random starting a citizenship by investment program, at least an official one, because for years there were all these countries kind of selling passports here and there, on the whim of various officials in West Africa. But it's the first official West African CBI that is functioning properly. So, how did all of this just come about? How did you make it happen?
Well, I'm an immigration lawyer in Hong Kong. I've been doing what I do in Hong Kong for 32, 33 years now. Become highly specialist in one jurisdiction, inbound to Hong Kong. And as you can appreciate, immigration is principally boring stuff. It doesn't exactly set clients alight when they're thinking about how you go about attaining any kind of residency consents. So it has meant down the years that I've been very creative in my approach. So in my Hong Kong inbound practice, and there's about 40 of us altogether, with the biggest single practice in Hong Kong inbound, we have a website platform, four different websites, cover every aspect of Hong Kong immigration. Been very creative in the use of video right from the very get-go, application of technology, AI recently, and the rest of it. So basically, I have a reputation in sort of immigration circles, immigration law circles anyway, for being creative in a small single jurisdiction. And through a chain of relationships that I have in West Africa, I was basically invited in to make a presentation to the Sierra Leone Immigration Department, who wanted to understand how they could actually begin to harness their immigration legislation and indeed their wider institutions for the benefit of the country. Problem that Sierra Leone has, and all the ministers that I've spoken to have all confirmed this, that things have to change. They realize things have to change, but the difficulty has always been as a result of Leonardo DiCaprio, because when he released that movie, Blood Diamonds, the reputation for Sierra Leone was unfortunately, misset. And so most people, when they think about Sierra Leone, straight away they think, oh, that movie, don't want anything to do with that. But actually, the country is nothing like that anymore. The civil war is long over. They've had two transfers of political parties over the course of and the series of elections that have been, properly administered and organized. Democracy is very entrenched. And the country is on the march, but it needs to attract direct foreign investment. And they don't have a lot of available resources sort of at their immediate disposal, even though the country is very, very wealthy from a natural resources perspective. It just they can't get the stuff out of the ground. So they were looking to seek to use their immigration legislation to empower new citizen stakeholders to come and engage in investment. And they gave me a brief that said, look, can you come up with something unique, interesting, and remarkable? And so I said, yeah. I said, the first point to make about Sierra Leone is if you think that the modern Sierra Leone is the Sierra Leone of blood diamonds, and naturally you'd conclude today that the modern Cambodia is the Cambodia of the killing fields. Clearly, the mental models are all need adjusting, and that has certainly proven to be the case as I've had the opportunity to sort of take this story to market. Sort of looking at what was going on in Kigali, and they thought, well, if Rwanda can come back from a genocide and through the right kind of leadership, they can produce kind of like a city that was something akin to where Dubai was 15 years ago. Then why not Sierra Leone? So That was the sort of the genesis of the discussions, and I was able to bring creativity into play. And thankfully, these people are very smart, and they said, "This makes sense to us. Let's do it." So lo and behold, I found myself for the very first time leaving the remit of Hong Kong immigration and in Sierra Leone, which 2 years ago was something that I never anticipated. But here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer for the country. The country essentially gets free money, free publicity, and a bunch of high net worth ambassadors, really, and ambassadors for the country all over the world. That and some of them will actually invest and do business in Sierra Leone and help to develop the country beyond the donation that they made.